What's going on, boxing fans? So yeah, doing just a quick live video, man. Purposely, I did not do a recap immediately following Canelo Triple G, which is already spawned just a load of controversy, obviously because of the decision, particularly one scorecard of Adelaide Bird being 118 to 110. This was the biggest concern I had about this fight. We're coming off of Mayweather-McGregor. The hardcore fans are getting behind this particular fight because on paper and realistically, it's a legitimate fight. You had the most dominant middleweight in recent years against the young, high level, very popular fighter coming up to middleweight, who's ironically the lineal champion. We were getting a big fight, man. And look, before I get into the whole, controversy, I mean, it was an entertaining fight, man. I mean, I think both guys came in, they had their mentality set of what they wanted to do. To me, Triple G won this fight, man. I watched the fight obviously live last night. I watched the fight this morning, and I can't help but see nothing but a 116-112 victory for Triple G. I mean, again, man, like, I'm not gonna sit here and go over like every single tidbit about this fight, man. But look, the reality is when you're scoring fights, there's certain criteria you have to look at, right? And one of the things I look at is who's the more authoritative puncher, who's the more consistent puncher, who's controlling the pace of the fight, the ring general, and overall, man, like, who's landing the most punches. And it's simple things like that just, I guess, were thrown out the window, because while Canelo Alvarez put up a good effort, landed some good shots, like, from round 7 and on, man, like, I gave Canelo, I think, one round, and that was the 12th. I gave him rounds 2 and 3. I think I gave him 5, and I gave him the 12th. I had this 8-4 both times viewing this fight. None of the commentators swayed me or anything, man. Like, it didn't take a this fight was not hard to judge, man. This fight was not hard to judge. Triple G's jab, as I expected, was a big dictator in this fight, particularly as the fight started going in the championship rounds. Canelo, his output started to decrease, and look, I guess we're patting him on the back because he took a good shot. But that doesn't justify him getting a draw, man. Danny Jacobs has a justifiable case of a draw, okay? He put on a way better performance than Canelo Alvarez did, even leading into the final rounds. Danny Jacobs was throwing punches, was backing Triple G up. Canelo wasn't doing any of that, to the point where he looked exhausted. Like, Canelo looked exhausted. And I just think, like, I don't know what else outside of Triple G just knocking Canelo out he could have done. He fought his fight. Like, this was Triple G's fight, and his style played out to be the one that was the most effective. Okay, Canelo's counterpunching was there in certain instances, but not enough. His punching power was not there. Triple G's punching power in relation was making Canelo back up. So it wasn't as if Canelo felt Triple G's best punch and was like, all right, I'm coming forward. He was backpedaling, man. Like, how does anybody not see that? And he was backpedaling and getting hit. It wasn't like he was backpedaling, missing everything and then getting out of the way. Like, the body language and everything on Canelo's face said all that needed to be said. So, again, if you had it, even in the case if you thought that Canelo won, which I find it hard to believe if you judge fights properly. Like, even if you had it like 114, 113, or 115, okay, like, I won't agree with you, but okay. But a 118, 110 means that Gennady Golovkin only won 2 rounds in this fight? Particularly rounds 7 to 11? Like, was Adelaide Bird, like, at the concession stand, or was she, like, at the craps table, like, you know, getting in, like, a last little bet? Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's what she was doing. You know, maybe she was, you know, like looking at the solar eclipse, and maybe, you know, wasn't looking at the fight properly, man. Like, I don't know, man. Again, this isn't the first time we've seen this, but it really comes out when it's on a high-level fight, and it's on a bigger stage, and this is what we get. And the problem is for the casual boxing fans, who, a lot of us that are the hardcores, we had that immediate circle of friends that are like, all right, you know, they come for the big fights. Well, this is a big fight, and this is the result. These fans get turned off, man. They get turned off. And, you know, Teddy Atlas, he went crazy on ESPN, and Stephen A. Smith is like, I don't know why the fuck he's even involved with this whole venture with ESPN and boxing, man. Like, he may have watched boxing, but like he doesn't fully understand the sport, man. But I think it's just a shame, man, because for Triple G, man, like the reality is he's not the cash guy here. It's still Canelo, man. Like, it really is. So Triple G, from this point, man, like, I guess he could go fight Willie Monroe now. I'm sorry, Billy Joe Saunders. Grab that title and then go fight Canelo again next year. Because look, here's the sad truth, man. Whether Canelo and team want to believe it or not, the real middleweight champion of the world is still Gennady Golovkin. He may have the lineal strap, but, like, again, that's as good as Adonis Stevenson being the light heavy WBC and lineal light heavyweight champion. You know, like, what does it really matter at this point? If you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter. The real light heavyweight champion is Andre Ward, not Adonis Stevenson. The same is applying here. Triple G is still the consensus middleweight champion. Canelo Alvarez was gifted a draw. He was gifted a draw, guys. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And it's no hate to Canelo Alvarez or anything like that, man. I mean, I'm just keeping it a buck, because I don't think you being a biased fan for either guy should really prevent you from saying what really happened, man. I've spoken to Canelo fans last night and earlier today, and with the exception of one guy, every one of them told me Canelo lost. So it's like, it's okay to admit that, man. But, you know, people just get stuck on the fanship of things like, oh, well, you know, it was a draw. It wasn't a fucking draw, man. Stop it. Stop it. Triple G won this fight, man. Triple G won this fight. Canelo made a good effort, but Triple G, for the most 3/4 of this fight, dominated it, man. Like, watching it twice, seeing the same fight, man. Like, again, like, I feel like I'm competent enough to understand how to score fights. And again, watching it both times, 8-4, Triple G just being the more dominant, more effective guy, you know? So he didn't knock Canelo Alvarez down, a pat on the back. He didn't knock him out, a pat on the back. I guess that's what got him the draw. So, yeah, man. We're going to talk about it this week, man. This show might be like a 2-3 hour show, man, because we got a lot to discuss. We're just going to be airing Wednesday, the Guard Your Grill Boxing Podcast, myself, Coltrane, ROD. And this is going to be the talk of the boxing world for the next several weeks, man. And are they going to rematch? Of course they're going to rematch. I think the pay-per-view might have done well, but I don't think their next fight is going to be each other. Like, I think Canelo's going to fight somebody else, maybe a Cotto, again, unnecessarily. And Triple G might go fight Billy Joe Saunders over there, and they'll find a reason to say, oh, well, you know, Triple G's falling off, and then he could go snag that title because Billy Joe ain't beating Triple G. Based on the performance I saw from him against Willie Monroe. But yeah, man, collectively, myself, the crew, we all had Triple G winning the fight. Anywhere from 115 to 113 to 116, 112. that's the ballpark, man. But a draw or a win for Canelo, man. I'm sorry, man. Like I feel like that's not a justifiable decision, man. But either or, man. Follow us at Guard Your Girl Boxing on Instagram. We're gonna be talking about it in the next couple of weeks, and really probably for the rest of the year, man. And look, the good thing is we got some big fights on the horizon that are gonna kind of like cast a shadow over this for the time being. Obviously, Lomachenko Rigondeaux announced for December 9th. Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder November 4th in Brooklyn. So we still got a lot going on in the fall, man. But as far as this fight's concerned, myself, the crew, we all had Triple G clearly winning this fight, man. So subscribe to us on iTunes as well. Add or just search GYGB and SoundCloud.com/GYGB for our latest shows, and on Facebook. Facebook.com/GYGBoxing, and at Twitter at GYGBoxing, man. So let me know who you thought won the fight, man. We got Triple G winning, but state your case, and we'll be back soon. Peace.